Okay, right. So we did TYU1, and let's just sort of, that's really the case when we pay, we have this situation where we might have a loss or a gain, and that gets straight recognized in the income statement. Um, Now, if you have any transactions, of course, that are unsettled at the year end, which is very possible, right? Trade payable might still exist at the year end. The argument simply becomes, what do we do? Well, it depends on the nature of the item. If it's a monetary item, we retranslate, and if it's a non-monetary item, we leave it alone. We don't do anything about it. And that's kind of the principle according to the standard. And again, of course, these movements go to P&L. That's what we're literally saying. So I don't, this might be the same example, I actually think. Um, I'm not sure. Anyway, key point here is that a company uses the dollar as its functional currency, that uses the dinar. So the goods are priced at 35,000. So when you record this, you would have gone debit purchases 35,000 dinar over 1.75. That's what you would have said, right? You'd have said 35,000 divided by that. Okay, great. So 35,000 divided by 1.75. And then you have 20,000. So you'd have recognized 20 grand in dollars in your credit trade payable 20,000. That's what you would have done. Okay, great. Now you're still owing this 20,000 at the year end. And we can see here that, to be fair, just by looking at this, you can see that the exchange rate has moved in your favor. Just because you once needed a dollar to get a pound 75 dinner, now you need now a dollar would get you a pound 90. But anyway, doesn't really matter. We can just test it and check. So at the year end, which is your year end, 31st of March, we will find out because you owe 35,000 dinner. And what does this mean for your currency? So 35,000 dinner divided by 1.9 means that you now owe, divided by 1.9, you now owe 18,421. So however you come to your own understanding of, do I owe more or less, that's just, you can always do the double entry. So you can see here it's saying that you owe 18,421. So sometimes, I mean, hopefully we come to, when I say when we come to, as you've been looking at financial instruments, you can now see how people talk about how you can actually make money off a loan, because you can see that if the interest rates move in your favor, I mean, interest rates, exchange rates, they're just rates. If the interest rates move in your favor, you could recognize a profit, if you like, by trading in loans. So what do we now have here? We now have a well, what I do straight away is to debit the trade payables with the difference, right? Because all I need to recognize in my loan, in my payable account, is 18,421. So I now do this with 20,000, and I have now debit trade payables of 1,578, and I recognize a gain, maybe an other income or whatever, gain on forex trade payable here of 1,578. Remember, this could have gone against you, so it's just reacting to the question, and that's how we deal with that. So you'd now see, of course, your outstanding balance in your trade payable account would be 18,421. Again, really, if the exchange rate relates to trading transactions, yes, we disclose it within operating income, and if it relates to non-trading transactions, we disclose it within, if you like, interest receivable or other income or something along those lines. TYU3, I'm not going to do it just because it literally is a copy of 1 and 2. So please have a go at it. I'm just going to insert it so you see what it is. It literally is asking you exactly the same thing, but this time it's asking you to do it at both periods. It's asking you to do, or imagine if there'd been a payment during the year, or imagine if you had waited till the end of the year. So it's literally saying, same thing, ABC had a year end. You bought goods, of course. Again, all I'm literally doing is converting that, if you like, divided by 11.16, 286 divided by 10.87, 286 divided by 11.02. I'm just trying to find my dollar amounts. So this is telling you you bought it here, you paid here, or you waited till here and then you had to look at the movements. And again, you can see here that your dollar is getting you less. Well, technically, it's getting you overall. It's getting you less. Um, Swedish krona, that's it, than you initially had. So here you'd be recognizing overall a loss of some sort. But you can play around with this. It's just either or. A is pay, or B is wait till the end of the year. Okay, let's then now see what happens here. What's the very last? My last page says, yes, non-monetary items. We do not We do not translate, hold them at cost, and carry forward. Awesome. And that's really the story of foreign exchange at this level. Okay.